wondering what was going on back there, what the stuff was.
All right, good evening. Welcome to the advisory board meeting for Addison Township. It is April 14th, 5:30 p.m. We'll call the roll. Chairman Susan Smith,
Here.
Secretary Sherry Deaton, Board Member Rick Moorhead,
Present?
Investigator Jeannie Shelton. Say she's on her way.
She's on her way.
Trustee James Garrett Jr., present.
We just started and he's filming. Oh, you're fine.
Let the record show that Secretary Sherry Deaton has just arrived.
I must.
Sherry, I created this template
Oh, that's wonderful.
for you,
Thank you.
So that you can just fill in, and then that will be the minutes for the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, the first order of business. Inadvertently, we did not vote on the policy for 2026 in January. But we did kind of talk about it, that we made no changes. So the guidelines that we use for 2025 are the same guidelines we're using for 2026. But I need a motion and second to approve the guidelines and income levels for 2026.
I'll make a motion that we approve the guidelines for 2026 for income.
A second?
Have a motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you. That's one of the things that we do at the January meeting, but I looked back over the notes and some way, somehow, we didn't get that done, but. And so we will retroactively, go back and ensure that that is taken care of. Second item on the agenda for tonight. Jeannie has information on the first quarter. We've had a busier first quarter in 2026 than we had in 2025. More people are needing assistance. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of people that want to complete the application. We have people that want Jeannie to do all of it for them. And she's not gonna do that. That's not what she's paid to do. We've only had, I think, one burial, one cremation so far in the first quarter. But we've had a lot of rent and electricity. And Jean was prepared to even give you all a monthly breakout on that. Because I told her simply she should do a January, February, March, and then let you know how many applications we had, how many approved, any that we denied, and how much money we expended. That gives you all an idea of where we're at. So you can look and say January, February, March. So for that quarter, we spent $10,000 on assistance. If that keeps trending, we'll end up 40,000 for the year. And I want to say that we budgeted about 48,000. And fortunately, we've never utilized all of our direct assistance funds. During the moratorium, a lot of people don't come to us because they know that Duke and Rush Shelby and the other utilities can't cut them off. but there's heck to pay after March 15th when the moratorium ends. And those utilities usually want all of their money.
Okay.
So that's where we're at with the first quarter. Things are going well again. We have provided more assistance in the first quarter of 2026 than we did in 2025. All right, the State Board of Accounts, in their infinite wisdom, decided to change the budget process. So now all 1,005 trustees will have a new budget format that we'll have to adhere to. They're setting up webinars for us to attend. I've asked them to give me the information on the webinar. You can attend in person or you can go online.
Is this for 2027?
Yes,
Okay, so you have a year to kind of adhere to that budget.
yeah, but it's going to be a dramatic change. They say it's a dramatic change from what we've done in the past.
Is it a process or financial?
It's a process.
Okay.
So when I get that information, I will share it with you all, and then you can, if you want to do the training, you can do it online. I'm probably going to do one online, and I'm probably going to go to one in person, because when you go to in-person events, people ask questions that you may not have thought of. And so I will do that. The State Board of Accounts is having their meeting that all trustees are required to attend each year. I will be attending on April 29th because that's the closest one. They're doing 5 of these all across the state. And they do one like in Southwest Indiana, one in Southeast, one in Central Indiana, one in Northwest Indiana, one in Northeast. I'm not driving to those far distant ones. I'm doing the one in Central Indiana on the 29th, and it's at Fishers. It's an all-day event. State Board of Accounts requires the trustees to attend the meeting. You get credit for it. If you don't attend the meeting, your budget will not be approved.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you for going. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I will be doing that on the 29th. When I get the information from DLGF about the webinars, I will share that with you all. We will have the rest of this month and probably May and in June to attend those webinars, because in July we will start formulating our budget for 2027. I don't foresee any dramatic changes
Well,
in our overall budget. Slight increases of 5 to 10%, which is kind of what we've done historically. And then you all's principal responsibility, let the record show that the investigator is now in attendance, so put her on your roll call. You all's principal responsibility will be to set the salaries. Set your salary, set Jeannie's 2 salaries, set my salary. And then accept the budget.
Okay.
We spend about around $300,000 total on our budget. And it's fluctuated like less than 10% each year. We're spending a lot of money in 2026 from the rainy day fund for the Temple Hill Mausoleum. Can't be helped. It just can't be helped. We've spent so far $825 for a sheet of plexiglass. We've got doors coming, and McIntyre is going to be dropping 4 yards of dirt fill. because when the truck delivered the plexiglass, it was wet and we have ruts, and so now the ruts are so deep, the lawnmower won't go over ruts. So we got a bill for $194 for 4 yards of top fill.
Mm.
All right. We have been requested from the Shelby County Swift Water Rescue Team to pony up $6,000 in addition to the other 13 trustees to buy them a vehicle. This vehicle is over $80,000. It's $84,000. I am going to reply to the chief. We don't have $6,000 in our fire fund. That's a surplus to buy this vehicle. And I already know that 8 of the 14 townships aren't going to give them a quarter. So I don't want our $6,000 that we thought was going for a truck end up being utilized for something else. Now, if he wants to ask us for something else that's within our budget, we've got a little bit of money left over in fire fund, we can do that. We did it with the cameras.
If it's something that we're gonna pay for ourselves and we're not going to have, you know, the other trustees chip in on, you know, when it's just, okay, well, if they do it and we do it, they get this. Addison Township, can you do this to buy this? That makes sense, but like you said, if 8 other townships aren't gonna do it, don't lump us in, and then we don't know where our money's going, because it's kind of already the situation.
Mhm.
Yeah, and again, many of those townships don't have $6,000
Mhm.
in surplus in their fire fund.
No, I agree, I agree.
So I wanted to share that with you all, so I will be responding back to the fire chief and the deputy chief and the Swiftwater Rescue Team to let them know. We appreciate what they do, but we don't have $6,000 to give towards an $84,000 truck. We just don't. All right, you all decided at the January meeting that we were not going to renew our Indiana Township Association dues. So Jeannie and I will not be going to the conference, and we won't be going to any of the workshops that they have. They still provide some information, but we just won't be there physically. If it's something in a pressing, I think that we can get the information from another association member.
That's good.
Jeannie, did you have anything that you wanted to share on January, February, March?
I have, papers somewhere, and I, oh, no, there it is. I just knew I had papers somewhere.
Thank you.
And this is just, budget stuff, I think.
Thank you.
What we've done, where we are. Just gonna run through them, so. Not for your page, so for total, assistance in 2026, we've done, just to the end of March, $4,427. We've had 12 applications. We have helped 24 individuals. $5,050 of that was, right, wait, oh, that's, sorry, I must not have added that to that. Sorry, I just printed this off and I didn't double check. This is right. In January, we did, $1,200 in rent. In February, we did $2,250 in rent. And in March, we did 800 in rent and 177 in electricity.
And did we not have one cremation this quarter? We did.
Well, I don't think that they completed their stuff.
Okay.
That was we've had several like apply for it and then, they've just not completed it, or, you know, the one didn't qualify because, it was for her father, he didn't live in Shelbyville, like, he went to Walter Nursing Home, so when he passed away, he'd been in for over a year. We had a couple other people that we almost helped, and then when I called the funeral home, they just advised us to not, with the one guy, he totally chewed his girlfriend out, who was going to pay half of it, like she paid half of it. And then he proceeded to just berate her in front of God and everybody at the funeral home.
Hmm.
And so they gave her her money back, whether she wanted it or not. And when I called them to ask them, they were like, no, we're not gonna accept your money either. So we've had stuff, I mean, and honestly, I've had a ton of calls. A ton. And I've done probably as much in April already as I did in March. It's getting people, and I would say, you can make an appointment, or we can, I can take your stuff online, and you email it to me, then I'll call you and we'll do it online. It's kind of faster that way. But then they don't follow through, like, or I've had probably 5 no call, no show appointments. I mean, I come early and I stay late, so
And that's not prudent use of our investigators' time.
No.
I'm gonna turn this a little more. Yeah, it, I do everything to accommodate these people, and it usually takes 4 to 6 emails for me to get all of the information and, for them to get things back. I call them, and then when I'm on the phone with them, I find out, oh, yeah, I got my tax check yesterday for $5,000. Okay, well, that counts towards your income, so now you're over. I had a gal yesterday, she was so upset that we weren't gonna pay her rent, and I said, when, you know, have you, do you work? No, I don't, I haven't worked, and I've been looking for a job, and I said, have you had your tax check? She said, I got it 2 weeks ago. And I said, okay, well, how much was it? You know, maybe you're still gonna be driving, and she said $5,000. Get $5,000 2 weeks ago, and now you want help with your rent, we can't do that. I told her you have to wait 30 days. She said, okay, I'll call you back.
And she went,
I mean, so it's a combination of people not working. It's the darndest thing coming from me who, you know, works hard and a lot. I'm looking for a job and I can't get a job.
that's
So-
that hard.
And I always go over, if I see something out, or if I see something on Facebook, people hiring, I try to tell them. I also send people to St. Vincent de Paul to see if they can get help. We're back on Love Inc. sending people here under false pretenses again. You know, we don't help with cars. We're doing that again. We don't, you know, they're giving them false hope.
I'm meeting with them, Love Inc., on the 23rd.
Okay.
And that's something I talked to James about. Maybe instead of spending, since we're not spending the money on going on the township fund association, that maybe we should invite Love Inc., some trustees, or not trustees even, but like landlords, and just, I don't know, maybe just some other organizations, St. Vincent de Paul, you know, people that I'm reaching out to, so we can just have a conversation about, this is actually what we do, here are our guidelines, and I've sent several applicant, or like landlords, our guidelines, so they have them. So, but they still, you know, people call and they have no idea, so.
Well, last week, here's an example. Last week, Jeannie had 6 referrals from someone named Chris at Love Inc., sending them here to the office, and we could not help them. And you plant false hope in people when you do that. And so then it's like Jeannie's the bad guy because, well, they told me to call your office that you would help. We had somebody that wanted us to put tires on their vehicle. We don't do that. We don't do
I had
car
someone ask for
repair.
roofing today.
Oh, a what?
Today, roofing. Do we help with roofing? And I was like, no, we don't. Well, can you tell me who does? Oh, and I feel bad because I don't have references. If I knew where I could send somebody for help, I would tell them, but I don't, honestly, I don't know. I don't know anybody that's paying for that. People
Well, and I don't know
staying in
that-
a hotel.
don't know
I
that there's
can't.
anybody who is paying for that. So, but to Jean's thought and idea, we could get St. Vincent de Paul, some of the landlords, the folks from Love Inc., they especially need it, and Human Services. And we could spend some money if we need to get a venue and have some snacks or light refreshments to get people to be there, just to convey, here's what we do, and then here's what we can't do. So don't send somebody to the trustee's office if they've got car repair issues.
Right.
We don't issue gas cards. We don't do tires. We don't do water utilities. We don't,
Do hotel stays.
we don't do hotel stays.
You have to have an address, you know. Um, there was a guy who was living with his mom, and then so his address was his mom's, but he's homeless. And he said, well, I can give you my mom's address so I can get help. And I was like, but what are we gonna help with? We would help with her rent, her electricity, her water, or not water, her gas. It would be her bills that we would help with. It wouldn't be you.
Because nothing's in his name.
Yeah.
Would you ask any other trustees?
Yeah,
I mean,
I could, Mike Theobald is still the president of the Shelby County Trustees Association. But they do so little compared to what we do. Mike Theobald will do 2 applications for the whole calendar year.
It might be beneficial to have like Amy McQueen there because we're so, like, we get a lot of her calls, I think is it Shelby Crest? Is it Shelby Crest, the other one that's out there?
That's in her township, not
Yeah,
mine.
yes, there's a Shelby's Crest that we have, and there's a Shelby's Crest that she has.
oh, that's Little Marion.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like, but it's all Shelby Crest and Landing.
Yeah.
So when they call and they say they're from Shelby Crest, I have to get their address because sometimes they're out in Marion and it's not us. So, it might be beneficial to have,
We can do that.
just so like, or some of these landlords might have properties in other townships.
Right.
So, it might just be beneficial to have them there if they want to come, but it would just be nice to, and also to say, here's our process. Here's our process, here's how it works. Because I spend time sending letters and calling landlords back about, you didn't send me your paperwork. I got paperwork back from Signature Property Group and they haven't cashed their check from December. But I got their signed paperwork back. So as far as we're concerned, the client, they got their rent paid,
But the check hasn't.
but the check hasn't been cashed. So,
Never happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, it would just be nice to be able to say, hey, this is kind of what we do. Here's our information, here's our guidelines, put it up in your office. I mean, it's public record, we're not hiding it. This is what it is.
And if anyone would ask you where our guidelines are, they are posted at the courthouse. That's the public venue where they're posted at.
I dropped our stuff off the auditor's office today and I did see them, so I saw them with my own eyes that they were there today.
Because, and that's a good point, because people say, well, I've never seen you guys. Why do you hide it? No, we don't hide it. It has to be public. And I mean, and anyone could come here to the office and ask for a copy of our guide.
Mhm.
And we print it off for them,
Okay. I think it's a good idea for you guys to do that.
So maybe we could work on something this summer. And maybe if we don't have any meetings or whatever, but we, when we do it, we could kind of have everybody at the board there, so everybody can hear board, this is,
Yeah.
this is what we do, this is kind of,
I'd be happy to.
Yeah, and I think maybe this summer before the kids go back to school, that might be a
Yeah.
good time because we get a
get
lot
kind
of,
ramped up in August.
yeah, we get a lot of traffic in the month of August because school is starting again. And there's school fees and school clothes and things like that. So, but we could do that and then we can look at another venue. Prior to Jeannie being the investigator, we did a meeting like this at the city hall, council chambers. And of course, the city didn't charge us anything for the venue. There was plenty of parking. And we kind of had some light snacks, refreshers. All we had to do was ensure we like cleaned up and took our trash out afterwards.
Sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, so if anybody in the meantime thinks of anybody else that needs to be on that list to invite, I'll try to get kind of the plan in place and then we'll set a date. And then on how we advertise, how we, how we put the word out there. I just think it's important to kind of, so people, because honestly, when people call me, they're just confused about what we do and, they don't, they've got wrong information.
Did you call Loving to find out who the lady was?
He's gonna meet with them, so I just waited to. I got a friend request from someone named Chris that came around the same time. And that person has like a lot of religious taglines, which typically is friends with me, so. You're what you asked for. So I haven't accepted it, but I'm wondering if it's that person, so.
And I don't know who this Chris is, so,
But everybody kept saying Chris and
but yeah, and
information wasn't correct, so.
there were six referrals that week, and we couldn't do anything with any of the six. And I mean, and that I don't like having people with a false sense of hope,
Right.
and they just feel that we could help them, but we just don't want to.
And also, I don't want to be sending people to them if it's not something that they do.
Right.
And that's what I was having is people come back to me and saying, they're not helping us. I did see online where somebody actually said that they were getting help, but everybody that's called me has said that they are not helping. They aren't receiving help from them. One gal said that they offered to pray with her once a week, and I was like, that's great, but
They gave somebody a gas card.
they gave somebody a gas card. Everyone else says,
The Loving.
yeah, they said that everyone else said that they had no help for that. They couldn't help. And, I'm not real sure how human services works either, but I think that they're out of moratorium or something, or maybe they're back in it, but now, like, people aren't, their gas bills and electric bills, that's done. Their money is out. So, we won't get any, nobody will get any help from that. And as far as Duke goes, they're about, I think it's May or June when they, budget up, so people are gonna be getting $1,200-$1,300 bills, so. And I tell everybody, with Duke, go do quarterly budget, don't do just regular budget, because it's all year, and then that's when you get a $3,000 bill. Quarterly budgets, they have to settle up every quarter. I personally was burned the hard way with that, so I tell everybody else that. I mean, I've been on the phone with Duke 3 times this week just for the trustee's office. Because I'm an operations zero on the account, but they won't talk to me about billing. They said James has to call. I said he did, and he made me an operations zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Duke is not nice for people to work with, and so by the time they reach me, they're already completely frustrated, and then for me to have to say, I can't do anything for you, is.
Well, the other frustrating thing is people wait till they actually have a disconnect. Instead of 60 days when they knew that they couldn't pay the bill, they come to the office and we could have helped. That's somewhat frustrating too. So But Jeannie continues to do a phenomenal job. I hate the fact that sometimes her time is wasted because she's here for people that set up appointments and no call, no show. That's budget training that you all are going to, if you want to participate. It's called Budgets 2.0. And that's the change that they've made.
That rent is $42.50.